Hi guys, I've got these shoes. They are the Vivobarefoot Hydra ESC, and I got them for a swim run race. However, they are extremely painful to wear. So in this video, I'm going to explain you how I try to make them less painful, and hopefully I will be able to wear them in the race. I have two problems with the shoes. The first one is that when I step, the shoes bend, and they have this plastic skeleton here outside that really goes straight into my pinky toe, so that hurts a lot. This is a problem with the construction of the shoe. I don't know why they did it this way. You can see they try to actually bring it down a little bit here, but it still pinches in my toe. So that's the first reason why I just cannot wear them like this. The second problem is that the laces, so they have some laces here, and except for this part where they actually have a holder for the lace, and all these parts, they actually are in direct contact with your feet. I'm going to try to show you. So we can see here underneath that the lace is right there. So if you can see my finger, this is the lace. They are round laces and they are not flexible at all. So that's really painful, especially in this part, this very last intersection of the laces with the shoe that goes straight into the articulation of my big toe, and yeah, it goes right on the bone, so that's also very uncomfortable to wear. Originally I wanted to wear them without socks because I'm planning to swim with them, and also they are really tight, so they are constructed as a sock, so putting your foot inside with socks is quite difficult, at least if you have loose socks. So that's why I wanted to wear them without. However, it's just not possible since they are so painful to wear. So the first thing that I try to make them more comfortable is to remove the insole. So they have this very thin insole. And yes, that increased the distance between my toe and this plastic part. So when it bends, it was not going so harsh on my skin. However, if you can see inside, actually, if you can see outside the shoe, it's a bit lifted on this part, on the part of the arc of your foot. So when I got rid of the insole, actually the insole is also a little bit lifted here. So this plastic part was straight into my bone and my arc. I have a really low arc, so I don't know if this will be different for other people, but it's not so comfortable for me to wear it without the insole. Another reason why I don't want to remove the insoles is because they increase the space between the upper part of the shoe and my toes. But when you are swimming, you don't really want to have so much space in here. You actually want to have tight shoes so you don't get so many water like flowing freely inside the shoe and giving you extra drag. So that's the first reason why I actually got these shoes. So removing the insole defeats the purpose of having the shoes. Therefore, I decided that instead of removing the insole, I'm just going to add more layers of fabric between the pinky toe and the shoes so I can protect them better. The first thing that I did to protect my toes was to cut these two pieces of fabric. So it's just a fabric here, and then they have a loop in here. So you can get them from any old t-shirt, for example this one. We can see here in the bottom of the t-shirt we have the same loop. So this will be the part that we cut. Then I took this loop and I inserted it on top of my pinky toe. So just like a piece of cloth. And yeah, so the thread is on this side, and then I fold it on top of my two toes. So then I get two layers of fabric protecting the dangerous blade, which is here. So let's put on the socks. I'm trying to hold this so it doesn't move, and once the sock is on top, then it will stay fixed. So the brand is Smart Wool, but it's really wool socks, And so here you can see that I get the padding right on top of the pinky toe. And then I'm ready to put on the shoes. Then I wore the shoes inside the house. I was wearing them during my normal activities for several days to make sure that I was comfortable and that my feet were getting used to them. And afterwards, I took them out for a walk. Okay, I am back from my walk and my pinky toes are perfectly happy. The only thing that is really bothering me right now, it's the laces. So it's really time to get rid of them. So with the laces, really the only solution I can think of is just to get rid of them all along. The reason why I'm going to do it is I don't really think you need laces for these shoes because they fit so snug on your feet. So they're really tight because of the construction. So I think I can survive without having to tighten them up. I already work with the laces completely loose. That was not an issue. Another thing is that I'm not a big fan of having laces on these kind of shoes that they don't have a tongue. So on a shoe with a tongue, you actually have the tongue here that is on the top of your foot. And then you have some leather or fabric here on the side. And that's where the laces are attached. So once you make the laces more tight, they are actually pressing not directly on the top of your feet, but actually on the sides, so on both sides where they are being held. That means that they don't go straight on top of this bone, because on this part, on the upper part of your foot, the bone is exposed, while on the side you have a bit of more muscle. It's similar to what happens with your shins. So you don't want, this is a very sensitive part of the feet. Actually, you don't want anyone to step on this part of the foot. If they step on the toes, I haven't even been stepped by a horse on my toes and they are fine, they didn't get broken. I don't recommend it though. If someone steps here, it's going to be really painful. So for the same reason, I don't want any laces pressing directly on that upper part of my foot. I'd rather have them pressing on the side. And that's just not possible with these shoes that are sock-like because they don't have the tone. So the laces are pressing directly on the upper part here. That's already a good reason not to tie them up, at least. And since the shoe is so snug, then I don't care about removing them. Now, I wouldn't recommend to do this unless you actually have decided that you are going to keep the shoes. If you are only trying them out and then you might send them back to Vivobarefoot, then definitely I think you should send them back as a full shoe. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately, because these laces are quick lacing system, so they are completely closed, you cannot just remove them, you actually need to cut them. So that's what I'm going to do. I already tested the shoes, I know I'm happy with them, so I'm just going to get rid of the laces. So I'm doing it here on the top, and then let's just remove these things. By the way, everything I'm saying is based on personal opinion and personal experience. I am not a medical doctor, so this is not meant as medical advice at all. It's just my own opinion. So if you have any issues, I recommend you to go to your doctor, talk to them, and then see if these kind of shoes are actually a good alternative for you. I've just put on the shoes without laces. I am, however, going to put something here. So I cut this from the lace and I'm going to put it through the loops on the last end, on the end of the lacing area. So in this part, I already have some more, the muscle, the bone is not so exposed, so it's not like here. So I'm okay tightening it up a little bit here just to have a bit of extra security in this part, so that should do. I don't want a very big and fancy knot because they are meant for running, so for swimming, and running, so you want them to be as streamlined as possible. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful. If you have had any similar issues with the shoes or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Now I'm going for a jog, so my first jog with these shoes. And next month I'm going to publish another video where I show you how I do my jogging training and swimming with these shoes. So stay tuned. See you!